ain't doing it. Welcome back to An Athlete's Journey. I'm your host, Travis Reed. Today, I got me a special guest, a special friend of mine, somebody I consider like a big brother to me, who taught me a lot growing up. I met him since when I was 14 years old. His journey is crazy. That's why I had to get him on here. My big bro, Tremaine Fowlkes. Say what's up to the people, Tremaine.
What up, y'all? What's up? It's all love, baby. How you doing?
No, definitely, man.
Bro?
All right, man. I was like, man, I had to get on the show. I was like, gotta get Tremaine on, man. You know what I'm saying? Taught me so much growing up. I looked at him as an older brother, man. And like I said, him and Chris were the standard, of high school basketball. I didn't fear anybody after playing against y'all every day in practice. I was like, this guy. I don't they ain't Tremaine or Chris. So I'm straight.
That's right there. Just us two. You feel me?
Right.
That's what you needed. You needed that push. Fortunate enough to be able to give it to you, man. And of course, you did your thing with it. You feel me? So I'm proud of you, man. Very proud of you.
Well, appreciate it. We appreciate it. Well, we gonna get right into it, Trey. we gonna get right into it. So, how did your basketball journey begin?
Well, Trav, it was a up and down journey. It was it was fun. It was a lot of heartache, that comes with it. You experience the highs and you experience the lows, and somehow you take those experiences and make them and turn them into a positive. And for me, man, my journey took me through 3 high schools, took me through 2 universities, so it was a lot of moving going on during that time, with my journey. It was a blessing just to be able to, get through the journey and reach the highest, plateau, of basketball. And that took some work. It took some injuries that I had to overcome. And it started all in LA, ended up overseas, back here, to the States. So we started off at Westchester. We went to Westchester. I went there for about a year. And then we went to Culver City, and then, after that, it was some choices to be made. I said, how am I elevate my game, and be with the competition? And one thing I saw about that was I'm going to have to get out of Culver City and get into the city. Just like, and it was fortunate enough to get into the city the time you did. That's where all the talent was. And, of course, things are kind of changing now. You don't have a lot of talent that's coming out the city. And
everybody moved out. Everybody moved out.
At that time, that's where all the talent was to get it.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Hold on. Let me turn it this. I got this light around the phone making it a little hot. Get this air going.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
All right, cool.
So, thank you. So we choice to be made to stay in the city, and you already know back then being in the city, you couldn't go no wrong with that. And that's where my place was. You got to the city at Crenshaw in 9th grade. I wish I was at Crenshaw in 9th grade. I would have went there all 4 years without a problem. That's everything. You went there all 4 years, didn't you?
No, man. I went after y'all. I did your route. I did 3 high schools in 4 years. I went to Manual Arts the next year, and then moms and pops, separated. And so I moved with my pops to Fontana.
Oh.
Yeah. So went out to Fontana, played at A.B. Miller for my last 2.
Corey,
No, I went to the other school. I went to the other school in Fontana, the new school, with my cousin, this dude named Brandon Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just started our own thing. Yeah, we started our own thing. Went to the CIF my senior year and all that. Even though Crenshaw still won state, Bean and them still won state, but I wasn't tripping. I got to UCLA, so.
Oh, you left the year they won state?
Yeah, I left. Yeah, I left right after y'all. Yeah, I left freshman year. I left freshman year, man. Trust me.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, because I was like,
yeah, Bean lets me know all the time. He was like, George, you could have had 4 city and 4 state. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But maybe I wouldn't have went to UCLA. So it's kind of,
Right. It's a lesson in disguise. Exactly, in disguise.
It's real. Like, I think, unlike y'all, already had passed the SAT. I didn't pass the SAT. Like, I was passing, but barely. I was like, oh, heck nah. Yeah. It's time to get you out, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was like, all right. Trying to get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to be too grown with y'all. I was hanging out with y'all too much. You know what I'm saying? But back to your journey, bro. Did you think about any other sports besides basketball, or just straight basketball?
That's a good question. Yeah, I originally played football. My family was football oriented. Their background was football. I had a couple. I played basketball. My dad was a professional football. He played in the NFL. Had a quick cup of coffee, and I actually, before I started to grow, I was I was fast. Quick on my feet. I was a back, a wide receiver, a quarterback. I was an athlete, but I enjoyed football. Once I got hit in 9th grade after I got an interception, he hit old boy on shins. I said, ooh, no way. I said, nah. I had a big old knot about that thick off my leg. I said, let's come. Here we come, basketball. Let's go.
I'll watch
it. And they look, who took me with welcome arms? They're like, come on, Trey, come on.
Hey, isn't that always the case when you play basketball?
And then I took over from back.
That's always the case. I'm like, man, I got hit, man. I realized it ain't for me.
We all go through situations, and we're able to at least pick a sport that's gonna favor us. We're not forced into a sport that we have to play. With me getting taller, the growth spurts. I mean, by the time you got to Crenshaw, Trav, you was about 6'6", right?
Yeah, I was about 6'6". I only grew about 1 more inch after that, pretty much. Solid 6'7". But yeah, I mean, the funny thing was, I played with the Collins twins, and like I was with the Collins twins, and they were already 6'10", 6'9", 6'10" already, 9th grade, 9th grade. So I was still short compared to them. So, but man, I would tell you, man, like, going back,
twins. Yeah,
Jason and Jaron, we was playing on ARC together.
Yeah.
So, but nah, man, like when I got to Crenshaw, it was like a shock. Like, I realized when I got to Crenshaw, because I thought, man, Crenshaw, you know, Tremaine Fowlkes is great. Chris Johnson is great. Tank is great. They can't be that much, you know. That's how I kind of saw it. And then when we practiced together, I was like, oh my. There is another level that I need to get to. There's a whole nother level. No, that was, like I said, y'all was like the
you know, that's how it was for me too when I got.
Oh, I got you. I'm telling you, man, it was like eighth grade to high school. Crenshaw was like, you know, playing against you, Chris, man.
It was night day.
For real, man. For real.
Competition at its best.
I'm telling you, man.
You know,
that's real. That's real. You know, funny story.
Challenge. I go with the challenge you.
No, for real. Funny story. How I first met Chris. You know, I'll tell you the story and I'll talk to him later about it. But like, I was in eighth grade. We were in Vegas in the little April tournament, you know, little Easter tournament. I was playing, we was at Circus, and I'll never forget it. We was at Circus. I was playing like NBA Jam or something on the arcade, right? Chris comes behind me with like 2 or 3 different dudes. I'm looking like, you know, and he was like, you Travis Reed? I'm like, yeah. You should come to the Shaw next year, man. You know, because I guess he asked me, you think about going to Crenshaw? I'm like, yeah, you know, I think about going to it. He's like, you come to Shaw. And then they all walked off. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
So you know Chris before you actually went to Crenshaw.
Yeah, I met him in 8th grade. I saw you in 8th grade, but I met him in 8th grade. I saw both.
Okay. That's
I saw both. Yeah. So, and he told me like he went to Montclair Prep, played against Jason and Jaron Collins, you know, back in the day and all that. So before he went to Crenshaw. So so I was like, you know, but I saw y'all like I was front row watching y'all win city. You know what I'm saying? Junior year, front row. Like, dang, you know, Pops is like, that could be you next year, boy. You know, looking at y'all, looking at you dunking and stuff. I was like, man, I'm with it.
With the high socks.
That's what I said. You had the Glenn Robinsons, dog. All right, Trevor. Going back to your Crenshaw, days.
Man, real classic days.
No, I remember, like I said, your senior year, man.
Okay.
And I remember your senior year. And, you know, obviously I didn't realize that we was going to Florida, South Carolina, all these tournaments. We went to Florida, won it, was smacking everybody. I was like, dude, we might be the best high school team ever in history. You know, like I didn't realize. I knew we were great, but now I look back on it and I'm just like, dude, we were great. We were a great team, you know? Yeah, you and Chris and Tank and Reggie McFerrin led the way. Ronnie Arch, God rest his soul. Like, y'all was like, you know, and like I said, it was just crazy. First time, Trey, when I said, I always put like this with you. We played Cleveland, first game of the season. They were 3A city champs the year before, I believe, right? Played them first. They're in Cleveland, in their house. And I was like, yeah, man, I watched Cleveland last year win 3A city, da-da-da. This is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
And then Chris was like, man, we're going to beat them by 40. I was like, dude, they won city in the 3A. He's like, watch. And so I just remember Tank had the ball half court, man. and he threw it. I'm like, who was he throwing this? Is he shooting a half-court shot? And then you caught it and reversed it. And I said, oh my. This is another level. This is it. This is another level. I was like,
I'm coming.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this dude is like one of the greatest athletes high school athletes I've ever seen in Cali, man. I remember that. That was like one of the first play I remember, and like one of the main plays of that whole year. Like I was like, did he reverse the live dunk first game? Crazy. But anyway, Trey.
No,
that was great. You know, that was memorable. I would say you had probably so many memorable things at Crenshaw. What was your most memorable moment, you know, like in high school? You know, before college?
Well, that year was perfect. It all came together. That year, your freshman year, and Tank came, we just had lost Rico and Maurice, and we came back as a really confident team. So we were really prepared for the season. And, that getting everybody in like that was one of the best years that I ever had playing basketball. It was fun. So that year when you were there was pretty much one of my funnest years because we knew each other. We all got along. We had fun on going out of town to some of the top tournaments and, have fun. And some fun that we probably shouldn't have had it. Growing, we're teenagers, but we were responsible.
I didn't want to bring that up on this show. I won't even bring that up.
Examples, though, but right. This is
PG-13 on the show. I won't even bring that part up.
Right. But yeah, man, that year was special, and that year really put me on the map, Trav. I had a chance to go to ABCD camp. Chris went to ABCD camp as well. So were our names, we were good not only as a team, but our names were individually starting to go on the national circuit. And that just made everything that much better for us, So that senior year meant a lot to me, and that gave me a chance to set my ground, plant my seed, for college next year when I signed with Cal.
And like I said, I remember that. I remember that.
That situation playing with Jelani was great. Go ahead. Did you say something?
No, I was like, I remember I wanted you to go to UCLA, you know what I'm saying? But they took obviously JR, Tobe, and Chris, coming in together, But I was like, man, y'all should go to UCLA together. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? That would have been crazy.
Good. That would have been nice, but you got to think at the same time, George, was showing me a lot of love. State's bowling up there. They had some Brandon Martin. He went to Cleveland.
Right.
Back in the day. Great shooter. Right. So, I wanted to stay on the West Coast, stay in California, just like you did when you went to UCLA. We're Cali boys. And, since that didn't work out with USC, I said, let me just not go too far, run away to Cal. And that was a perfect situation for me. And I got aim. I got my feet under me as far as trying to play the small forward position. Coach Payne, assistant coach, helped me out there, and playing away from the basket. Crenshaw was a straight 4-man. I was begging Willie, let me play that 3, man. He's like, no, you gonna stay your butt in that post. So I just had to adjust.
I remember that.
So you already know.
No, that's real.
He gave me the opportunity to play the 3 spot, and it was a blessing, Trav. And by the time we went into league play, I was on top of my game, and I was a real wing player. Was a thrasher, and only thing, I was a horrible free throw shooter in college, man. And that's what I tell kids today. Work on your free throws. Work on your free throws.
Agreed.
How was your shooting?
I meant to tell you on the comments, man. Chris just said you wanted to play at UCLA. That's what you said. Trey wanted to play at UCLA. Chris just wrote on the comments.
Oh, no, man. Hey, I would have played with Chris, though. I don't know about everybody. I know Chris. Me and Chris, all we got to do is pass the ball to each other. We would have been good.
I said he would have been battling JR for that backup spot, man, behind Ed. It would have been balling, man. But,
wide, I'm telling you.
The funny thing, I still would have went to UCLA, even if you were there too. I still would have came in.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have recruited a little harder.
No, I always thought that year that you and Chris could have been McDonald's All-American. No, I said I always thought that year that you and Chris could have been McDonald's All-Americans, both of y'all, with Ricky and Jelani. Because I thought that, y'all had the background. Y'all should have both been McDonald's All-Americans, in my opinion. That was just me.
Right? For real. That's a good point. They have to consider winning. We won a lot of games, man. And, that should be considered these days. And, your winning should speak, have some consideration. And not only were we winning, we were going improving every year, our games, and that's what people should want to see. I know a lot of guys good since 9th grade, and they had the hype the whole way through, and that kind of stuck with them. But we earned our reputation. Nobody really, really had us on, had a microscope on us until we went to Crenshaw and then we went to ABCD, camp. So we earned it, and it's cool to get rewarded for something that we did, like that would have been nice, back-to-back states, cities, ABCD top, 20 in the camp. We were supposed to, they were supposed to have that Mickey D's jersey on.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I always thought, I was like, bro, like y'all, if your team is ranked top 5 in the country, how can you not have any McDonald's All-Americans? It don't make any sense. Like we were ranked like number 3 in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
To me, it didn't make any sense, but that's just my piece about it. That's just my piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever.
Look,
it's all good.
We was number 1.
I think, and this is just me.
Yeah. Look,
that I think
number 1 for about,
I want to say about 10 weeks, first 10 games or something, 15. We was number 1 for a minute.
What? Say that again.
First, I want to say 10, 12 games. When we won Florida, we won all the tournaments. Before that, we would have been there. We would have stayed number 1. We went to all the camp, all the top places. So if we wouldn't have lost, Simon Gratz, I think we lost, and then Chris got suspended, for the next game when we lost, I think we would have went undefeated. It's just me.
No, I was mad at the coaches for doing that, man, for suspending Chris like that, man. Like he just gave whoever played 30. Like, come on, man, not over a burger. Come on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't, because I was like, I don't remember what happened.
I remember Chris is giving you buckets. That was my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Shout out to that. Shout out to Chris, because he knew we should have, and Duncan knew he should be playing. What's up, Chris?
Chris, no, like I said, like I just remember, like we should have basically went undefeated. We should have went undefeated that year. I remember that we should have went undefeated. So Trey, all right. So you in college, right? You're at Cal. So how do you what's the biggest like difference between Cal and Crenshaw? Even though I felt like Crenshaw was a college anyway, we was practicing 3-4 hours a day. So like, what was the biggest difference between Cal and Crenshaw?
Well, the biggest difference, of course, is campus life. Being in the college town was off the chain. That was very special in itself. But if you want to talk about basketball-wise, it wasn't that much of a difference. Tell you the truth, Trav. The competitive practices that we had at Crenshaw, we had at Cal too. Actually, we practiced just both places, and the practices that we had for 4 hours sometimes and 5 hours during the spring break, and Willie just running defense, doing pressing all day. I mean, that right there, I don't think a lot of teams would be prepared. A lot of kids prepared to play at Crenshaw. Of course, Cal is a college, and those practices were competitive. But nothing like that. Nothing like having to run the rover until you get it right 5 times. So you already know that if you it's like hold on.
No, on the real, Trey, man, like and this is the real, like Crenshaw practices was probably like the hardest practices of my whole basketball career, because not only did I have to go against basically the two best big men in the state, I had to go, like, practices was torture. Hell, it was so much running, pressing and running the whole game, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, to press, like it was, practice is just, gosh. My pops used to be like, boy, don't you got a homework? Yeah, Dad, I do it tomorrow, Dad. I'm just exhausted. I'm about to go to bed. For real. So I have a little bit of bad connection. All right. So you're at Cal, Trey? Trey, you there? Okay. You're at Cal. You're freshman of the year, right? Freshman of the year, which is like crazy. Pac-10 freshman of the year. I remember I was at the game when you dropped like 25 at UCLA, when y'all beat UCLA when it was like number 1 and number 2 in the country. I was just like, man, my boy, I was mad that UCLA lost, but I was so happy for you killing when you came back home and all that. You're doing your thing at Cal. Then what happens next? Oh, shit. You there, Trey?
All right.
Okay, yeah. You must have lost you for a minute. Now I can. Now I can. I didn't hear you before. It was freezing. It was not working. Oh shit. You off.
You hear me?
Now I can. Just can't see you, but I can hear you now. Go ahead, Trey.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Boy, that's why I said you need to get on your computer.
Hold on.
As you can see, folks, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with Mr. Tremaine, folks. He's trying to fix his thing. All right. Chris is telling you to turn off all your other internet stuff besides whatever you're using.
All right, let me see.
You there?
Yeah. You can't hear me, Trav?
Now I can. Now I can. Yeah. See? Chris just texted me like he got too many devices on the internet. All right.
Shit.
All right. You are watching An Athlete's Journey with Tremaine Fowlkes and Travis Reed. So we're having a little bit of technical difficulties on his end, so we're trying to fix it. So please bear with us if you're watching this. We appreciate it. You know? Can you hear me, Trey?
You want to reconnect? Damn.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Wait, let's reconnect. Let's just reconnect. You turn it off and turn it back on. Reconnect. You can't hear you? No, I can't hear you. Can't hear you, bro. Okay. All right. Yo, Rodney. He's back on. Trey.
We on?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
All right. Yeah.
Welcome back. So for people who was bearing with us, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now everything is working.
Thank y'all, man. That's Guy right there. He looking out after us, man. I love y'all. Let's go, man.
All right. So, like I said, back to what we were saying. You're at Cal. You're killing your freshman of the year, right, at the Pac-10. Then what happens? What happens sophomore year?
Yep. Sophomore year, things get a little ugly, Trav. I was being a little greedy. Putting my hands in the cookie jar, trying to, get the cars and all the things that come with playing hoop. And sometimes you're not patient, man. You know me. I said, man, I want a car. I want some extra dollars. I want the chain, the icy chain. So that came. And that's, for kids, I'll tell them, don't even worry about all that. That's gonna come. And I got a little greedy, and that right there changed the whole dynamics my sophomore year. You had Sharif come in there, you had Ed Gray come in that year, and once you are behind and you have to play catch up, it's not fun. I had to play a lot of catch up my sophomore year for what they already had established. Reef and Ed already established, their presence and their impact on that team. And I had to come in and just try to get in, fit in where I get in where I fit in. And that was a little disappointing to me because I didn't get an opportunity, and that was my fault. I didn't play a whole year. And anytime, and I said this on Chris' show, excuse me, anytime you have to sit out, it's not fun. And you are really trying to play catch up. So not only did I have to play catch up, Trav, at Cal, I ended up sitting out, another year before I went to Fresno. I got suspended for taking all that, got suspended for getting the car. That took me out right there. And if you look at it in the past 2 years, 3 years, I only played basketball a year and a half. So that year and a half of me sitting out, that really hurt me. And I tell people to this day, don't sit out if you don't have to. Don't sit out. You don't have to sit out if you don't have to. Play. And transfer, I didn't have to transfer. That was my personal decision. I did that. I didn't think I was, getting the support I wanted. I might have been a little emotional then too. Even though I didn't get along with Bowles like that, I could have just said, you know what, I'm gonna get my numbers, and I'm gonna do what I got to do and help this team get some W's. Sharif had went to the pros. Ed Gray had left too. No, Ed stayed one more year, and that year they went to the Elite Eight. They went to the Elite Eight and lost to North Carolina. So that year, I was, while they going to the Elite Eight, I'm watching them on TV. I'm rooting for them, and I just left them the year before. I'm like, man, what am I doing? But I made that commitment, man, and I stuck it through. And that's one thing I told Tark, I made this decision and I'm gonna see it through. And that's what I ended up doing. I saw it through up there. I ended up sitting out a year and going to Fresno. Everybody playing for a legendary coach, Tarkanian, watching him as a kid, I was like, hey, let me see what Tark is about. So, I took my butt up to Fresno. By that time at Fresno, that was, hey, where were you in 98? No, I was in Fresno 96, 97, 97, 98. Where were you during that time?
UCLA. Was it UCLA?
You was at UCLA, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was at UCLA. That was the first year. I remember I watched the documentary on ESPN where they did on y'all whole team, you know, with all the talent, like Skip to Malou, Chris Harris, Terrence Roberson, all them dudes. I remember that year. I remember that year.
Yeah. Hey, no, that year was wild, man. That year was wild. We had the documentary. I mean, it made us look bad. You know, you got coaches going in the hotel room closets and finding girls popping out the closet doors. And, you know, I mean, that wasn't me. I didn't have that, but.
I remember that. I think that was what,
so.
No, I remember that. I remember all that, man. I watched the documentary on ESPN. I think everybody did. That was like the first, like 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those 30 for 30 documentaries that before the 30 for 30, that was like a 30 for 30. Oh, I think we're
missing my sound again.
Oh, okay. You missing your sound a little bit? Like I said, still experiencing a little bit of difficulty with Big Trey. Hopefully we can do this interview again in the future. You know, when he ain't, we should do a face to now. I'm saying we got to do a face to face now. Yeah, but now we got to do it face to face, bro. Still ain't working?
I'm missing my sound again. Shit.
You're missing the sound again? Let me see. You still trying to work it, huh? You still trying to work it. Okay.
Come here.
He's still trying to work it, everybody.
Man, I just lost my sound. You hear me, Travis?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Shit.
I can hear you. Can you hear me or no?
I can't. No sound.
No sound. No sound. Okay. All right, we're gonna just wrap it up. We having just some technical difficulties. We're gonna just do this again. You know, sometime real soon, Trey.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You good?
Shit, man, people calling my goddamn phone.
That's what happens when they call the phone. Like you won't be able to hear like what's on the thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna call it right back on here, bro.
All right.